Today, we're diving into a topic that's been on a lot of people's minds lately: economic uncertainty. Listen, I'm not an economist and I'm not here to make any predictions, but it's always smart to be prepared, right? In this video, I'm going to walk you through 30 essential steps you can take to prepare for potential economic challenges. We're talking practical tips, actionable advice, and maybe even some stuff you haven't thought of before. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't this a little extreme? But here's the thing, guys. Being prepared isn't about being paranoid. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that you and your loved ones are ready for whatever comes your way. Think of it like having an emergency fund, but for your entire life. So buckle up, grab a notebook, and let's get into it.
All right. Step number 1 might seem a little old school, but trust me on this one. Keep some cash at home. What I'm saying is having a little bit of cash on hand can be a lifesaver if there's ever a bank holiday, a power outage, or any situation where accessing your money electronically becomes difficult. Think of it like this. If the ATMs are down or there's a run on the banks, you'll be glad you have some physical cash to cover basic necessities. It's all about having a backup plan, and cash is about as reliable as it gets in a pinch.
Next up, let's talk about debt. Debt makes you vulnerable. It ties up your cash flow and limits your options. So if you're serious about weathering any economic storm, getting out of debt should be a top priority. Focus on paying down high-interest debt first, like credit cards, and then work your way down the list. The key is to create a plan, stick to it, and get those debts off your back.
Now, this next one's a bit controversial, but hear me out. Gold and silver. Historically, gold and silver have held their value even when traditional currencies have fluctuated. They're tangible assets that can't be printed or inflated away. Again, I'm not suggesting you go all in, but a small allocation can provide some peace of mind.
Move away from big cities if possible. This next step is a big one, and it might not be feasible for everyone, but it's worth considering. If possible, move away from big cities. In times of economic hardship, cities can become chaotic. Think about it. Limited resources, higher crime rates, and a denser population can create a perfect storm for unrest. If you have the option, consider relocating to a more rural area.
Warm clothing and hiking gear. Now let's talk about essential supplies. First up, warm clothing and hiking gear. Invest in high-quality, durable clothing that will keep you warm and dry. Think layers, guys, base layers, insulating layers, and a waterproof outer shell. Hiking boots or comfortable shoes. I know I just mentioned hiking boots, but I want to emphasize this. Make sure you have comfortable and durable footwear. Seriously, this is non-negotiable. In a crisis situation, you might find yourself walking long distances, and uncomfortable shoes will quickly become a liability. Trust me, your feet will thank you.
Survival gas masks. Now, before you think I'm going full-on doomsday prepper here, let me explain. In an economic crisis, things can get unpredictable. Having a gas mask on hand can protect you and your family from harmful airborne particles if the unexpected happens. It's all about being prepared for the worst-case scenario.
Now let's talk about tools. Every prepared individual or family should have a few basic tools on hand: an axe, a shovel, and a good knife. These tools are essential for everything from gathering firewood to self-defense to basic repairs. Invest in quality tools that will last, and make sure everyone in your household knows how to use them safely.
Title: Self-defense equipment. This next one is a sensitive topic, but it's important to address: self-defense. In uncertain times, personal safety becomes even more critical. Consider taking self-defense classes, learning basic hand-to-hand combat techniques, or even just carrying a personal alarm. Remember, your safety is your responsibility.
Get your ammunition while you still can. This one ties into the previous point, and it's something to consider if you're comfortable with firearms. Stock up on ammunition. Make sure you're following all local laws and regulations regarding firearm ownership and storage, and always prioritize safety. a compass and maps. In today's digital age, we rely heavily on our phones for navigation, but what happens when the grid goes down? That's where a compass and maps come in. These low-tech tools can be lifesavers in an emergency. Learn how to use a compass and read a map. A Swiss Army knife. A Swiss Army knife is like the ultimate multi-tool. It's small enough to carry in your pocket, but packed with useful features like a knife blade, screwdriver, can opener, and more. A Swiss Army knife is an inexpensive but incredibly versatile tool to have in your preparedness kit. If you ever need to evacuate your home or bug out quickly, you'll need a way to carry your essential supplies. That's where a good hiking backpack comes in. Choose a backpack that's durable, comfortable to carry, and large enough to hold your essential gear, food, and water.
Shelter is one of the most basic human needs. If you're ever displaced from your home, you'll need a plan for shelter. The key is to have a plan and the necessary supplies to create a safe and secure shelter for yourself and your family.
Water is essential for survival. In an emergency situation, access to clean water might be limited. That's why it's crucial to have a plan for water storage and purification. Store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, and consider investing in water purification tablets or a water filter. Fire is essential for warmth, cooking, and even signaling for help. Store lighters and matches in a waterproof container, and consider learning how to start a fire using natural materials like flint and steel. Power outages can happen during any emergency, so having reliable lighting is crucial. Consider a solar-powered option or a hand-crank flashlight for a more sustainable solution.
Having a supply of non-perishable food is essential in any emergency preparedness plan. Aim to have at least a 2-week supply of food per person. Choose foods that are high in calories, nutritious, and have a long shelf life. Rotate your food storage regularly to ensure freshness.
Growing your own food is a valuable skill that can provide a sustainable source of fresh produce. Start small and gradually expand your gardening skills.
A well-stocked first aid kit is essential for treating minor injuries and illnesses. Consider taking a first aid course to learn basic medical skills. Stock up on multivitamins, vitamin C, and other essential vitamins to supplement your diet.
A radio. During an emergency, staying informed is crucial. Make sure you have a radio that can receive AM/FM and weather band frequencies. Communication equipment. Communication with loved ones is essential during an emergency. Consider walkie-talkies for short-range communication or a satellite phone for long-distance communication.
Personal hygiene items. Stock up on essentials like soap, shampoo, toothpaste, toilet paper, and feminine hygiene products. If you have young children or pets, make sure you have supplies to meet their specific needs. This includes diapers, formula, pet food, and any medications they require.
A basic sewing kit can be used to repair torn clothing, gear, or even create makeshift bandages. If you rely on a vehicle for transportation, it's wise to have a few extra gallons of gasoline stored safely in approved containers.
Don't just prepare for one scenario. Think about different potential emergencies and have a backup plan for each. In times of crisis, having a support network can make all the difference. Share skills, resources, and information to create a stronger and more resilient network.
This last tip is crucial. Keep your prepping to yourself. The goal of preparedness is to ensure your own safety and well-being, not to attract unwanted attention. Keep your business private and focus on taking care of yourself and your loved ones.
So there you have it, guys. 30 essential steps to prepare for an economic crisis. I know it's a lot to take in, but remember, the goal here isn't to scare you, it's to empower you. By taking these steps, you're taking control of your future and ensuring the safety and well-being of yourself and your loved ones. Don't wait for a crisis to hit before you start preparing. Start small, take it one step at a time, and build your preparedness plan gradually. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.